To ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
Maintaining our health, particularly our heart health, is very important to us as a family.
Your heart gives you time with family, time with community, time to pass down what matters. Protecting your heart helps keep those moments alive. A visit with a healthcare provider can be one step toward a healthier future. Learn more at hennepincounty.gov/hearts-beats. Your heart health is essential because your heart beats for generations.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Time is running out to experience Unchi Said So at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. This powerful exhibition by Daniel Seawalker shares Native stories rooted in collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold portraits and vibrant color, the work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture and reminds us that sovereignty begins at home. Closing June 6th, don't miss your chance to experience this powerful exhibition. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Warmer weather, sunny skies, summer is here. At the Walker, this means mini golf is open on the rooftop. Artist-led activations return to the hillside, and the cinema has a series of curated films. It's the perfect time to visit. Gallery admissions are free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org/summer.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for cloudy skies tonight with a low around 44, Thursday partly sunny with a high near 66, and Friday partly cloudy with a high around 65. Savor the excellence at Maverick's Real Roast Beef in Roseville. Elevate your taste buds with their range of sandwiches from the savory Philly steak to tempting turkey bacon avocado. Explore crispy chicken, fish, brisket, and pulled pork options. Check out mavericksbeef.com or visit them off Lexington and Roseville.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous. Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, hitting cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concept of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. To all my friends and relatives and projects, you are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot, and hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, I want to shout out this episode of Native Roots Radio is presented in partnership with Minnesota Public Radio and Little Moments Count. I got a couple of really cool guests here today, and I'm excited to have them on. And I'd really love if you guys introduced yourselves, and I want to welcome you to Native Roots Radio. Oh, wow.
Bonjour, everybody. My name is Shashana Skippingday. Neno Kazikwe Indigo, Mako Endo Dam, Gawaba Biganikag, and Dunjaba. I'm Director of Programs of Maternal Child Health Programs here at Division of Indian Work.
Wow, and I'm excited to have you on the show. I don't know if I've had you on the show, but I see you in community all the time, and it's great to see you, and thanks for being on. Joel, go ahead.
Thanks, Robert. Thanks for having us on. Ha Marawik Nananiatsa Joseph Tahdooahnippah, Minnesota Nakimata Nasinamana Nanamana. My name is Joseph Tahdooahnippah. I am our family spirit's home visitor here at DIW, and I'm excited to be on the show.
Well, I'm excited to have you, and I'm sure people are really interested in what you have to say. Hey, for the listeners who may be hearing for about Family Spirit for the first time, what is the program, and why is it important to create a home visiting model specifically designed for and by Indigenous communities, Joe?
Yeah. So the Family Spirit Home Visiting Program, it's a program that was developed through a partnership with tribes and the Johns Hopkins Center for Indigenous Health. And this program was created back in the 90s. What it is it's a culturally tailored home visiting intervention program delivered by community-based health educators. And so, it really delivers this curriculum that was, like I said, it was developed by tribal nations. The purpose of the curriculum is to really empower caregivers to really, elevate their knowledge and their skills in order to help them best achieve optimum development for their children across multiple domains: physical, cognitive, social, emotional, language learning, self-help. It's comprised of 65 lessons that are taught from pregnancy to age 3. And so, yeah, I think it was really important for this Indigenous curriculum to be created because historically we've not been represented in any sort of like mainstream institutions where when we think about like the mainstream health and social service like programs, those weren't really created or designed with Indigenous people in mind. And so we really needed something that we could deliver to our own people because we know our experiences, our histories, where we come from, family, all these other values that we hold that other communities might not necessarily have those same sort of values and traditions.
Wow, and we always talk about this, but I want to remind everyone, why are those early years such a critical window for emotional, social, brain development? And I'm going to ask the director here. Let my people out here know. Oh,
Yeah. I kind of really think their pregnancy through age 3 is really important. The infants and babies' brains are developing so fast, especially during pregnancy. Little ones can hear their parents' voices, their relatives' voices, and our voices are really important tools, sacred tools that can instill a lot of memory, good memories, positive influence on our kids. But they are learning through relationships before they even speak. They can learn through relationships while in utero. And then during these years from 0 to 3, they're building foundations for emotional regulation, for language, for trust, for learning, and for health. Small, little everyday moments, being held, being talked to, being sung to, using our language, using our voices, our songs. They respond to and shape how they experience safety and connection.
mm.
And by our home visitors supporting families during this window, it can have effects that last a lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, and you probably know this from because we're friends. We have our grandchildren, and they're 21 months now, and I'm whispering them, telling them where I'm digging in the backyard, where I'm putting the gold, so when they get older and I pass on, they can get the silver and the gold in the backyard. But hey, learning starts when children enter preschool is a misnomer, and you're talking a little bit about that, and really talking about during the pregnancy, and that's so important to talk about because I don't think when I was a kid that was a norm.
Well, it's something that we've lost through intergenerational trauma. Things have been lost through boarding school, time era. Um, so now we are reclaiming a lot of traditions and cultures for and helping our families to learn those. So learning for our babies starts before school. They begin learning in utero, in the womb, the sounds, the rhythm, the powwow drums, the rattles that we have. They also feel mama's stress levels, the levels that are happening in the room. They're also feeling the connections that mom makes with whoever's in her circle. Once babies are born, every interaction that baby has teaches them something, whether the world feels safe or not, whether their needs matter. So their needs right now when they come out are their whole world right now is through oral care. So they know to eat, they can cry to get their needs met, and what their needs matter and how the relationships work. So our parents and caregivers are our children's first teachers, and our learning happens through feeding, through storytelling, reading those books in utero, reading those books those first few months, and lifelong through language, through eye contact, through song, through movement, and everyday routine. So it does literally start before preschool.
Wow, that's so cool. Hey, Joe, as a family spirit home visitor, what does your typical home visit look like, and how do you build relationships with these families?
Yeah, so a typical home visit would involve, you know, either setting up a time to meet them in their home, or meeting them here at our office at DIW, and really just connecting in the beginning through just checking in with them, like, hey, how are you doing, how's everything going with the family, because a big part of that is like relationship building. And so we kind of talk in the beginning, we do a check-in, then we review if there was a previous lesson, like last week or last month. We'll review that. I'll make sure that they still understand like the key takeaways from that, and then we'll hop into the next lesson. We'll go over that. When that's finished up, kind of have them like review the points, do some Q&A, and then we'll kind of go into if there's any sort of like resources or referrals that they might need, and yeah, we take it from there. And then before I leave, we set up our next meeting.
Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we're talking a little bit about Family Spirit Home Visiting Program, and we'll be right back after this short break. This is a special episode of Little Moments Count here on Native Roots Radio. We'll be right back. Oh,
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
If the statistics say that 1 in 3 Native women and 1 in 6 Native men have experienced sexual assault in their lifetime, it means our whole community is affected by sexual violence. 1 is too many. Don't stand by, stand up. Don't engage in acts of sexual violence, and shut down the dirty jokes, the gossip, the victim blaming and shaming. As a community, we can change the way we respond. Contact the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition to attend a workshop to learn more.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Time is running out to experience Unchi Said So at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. This powerful exhibition by Danielle Seawalker shares Native stories rooted in collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold portraits and vibrant color, the work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture and reminds us that sovereignty begins at home. Closing June 6th, don't miss your chance to experience this powerful exhibition. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Warmer weather, sunny skies, summer is here. At the Walker, this means mini golf is open on the rooftop. Artist-led activations return to the hillside, and the cinema has a series of curated films. It's the perfect time to visit. Gallery admissions are free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org/summer.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Hey, this is a special edition of Native Roots Radio. This is Little Moments Counting. We are with Joe and Shashani, and we're talking about early child development, which is really awesome to talk about. I want to just talk about, how important relationships seem to be at the center of your work and everybody's work, and why trust and connection consistently is so critical when working with families during pregnancy and their first years. Shashani, can you talk a little bit about that?
I certainly can. I could talk a whole lot, but I'll try to keep it short for you. I am a mother. I'm not a grandmother yet. I'm a nurse. I am a full spectrum doula, Indigenous lactation counselor, a student midwife, and do many things in the community. But I will say pregnancy and early parenting for families, young families too, can really feel overwhelming. They can feel vulnerable. And with our home visiting programs that we have, families need support people who can show up consistently. And I see that all the time with Joe, and do it without judgment. So building those relationships allows trust to have honest conversations about challenges and goals that the families might have, navigating daily life. When families feel safe, they are more able, they can ask more questions. They seek support. They can ask us for support, and we can guide them and we can help them build confidence in their relationships and seeking the help that they might need. So relationships are not extra to this work. They are the work. So building those relationships, those showing up in there for them, being there for them, and letting them know that they're part of the community, they're part of the circle, that's really important.
Yeah, that is really important, and along with the relationship building, I think that's the bottom line in our Native community, and I really appreciate your input. Joe, Family Spirit is evidence-based home visiting program used across the country. What does evidence-based really mean? Tell us and educate me.
Yeah, so evidence-based really, so it just means that it was developed, through credible research, and it was, found to have demonstrated measurable outcomes. And so this, it was developed through research through the Johns Hopkins Center for Indigenous Health and Tribal Nations. And so some of those proven demonstrated outcomes of the program include, increased maternal knowledge, increased parent self-efficacy, reduced parent stress, improved home safety attitudes. And then the big one is a decrease in maternal depression, a decrease in substance use, fewer behavior problems in mothers. And then for children, some of the big outcomes for the little ones would be fewer behavioral problems in children through age 3, and that would include things like externalizing, internalizing, dysregulation. And then it also predicts a lower risk of substance use and behavioral health problems across the lifespan. So yeah, that's what it essentially means, that it's evidence-based.
Wow. And, we talk about, what's going around in the community and in the country and in the world all over Turtle Island. And, our families are, navigating stress and mental health challenges and housing instability or isolation. How does home visiting create a space where families feel supported and not judged? And I think I think that in that question is almost the answer.
Yeah, so I think the home visiting, creating that base of like non-judgment, it really does center on, you know, what's kind of like a reoccurring theme throughout this conversation is relationship building. And that's super important because you have to be able to, you know, show up for your families. You have to be able to, they have to know that they can trust you, that you are consistent. Because if you don't have that, like you're not going to reach them. They're not going to be receptive to what you have to offer. And so it's gonna disrupt, you know, that connection that you have with them. And so that's really like at the core of all of this is just really building those strong relationships, maintaining those strong relationships, and then, you know, that creates that like safe space for families to be able to open up, like Shoshana said, to be able to ask questions, to ask for help, because it's really not easy in our communities.
Definitely.
You know, and that draws back to a lot of, you know, intergenerational trauma, historical trauma that has to do with, like, you know, the boarding school era, all of these federal policies that were meant to assimilate, you know, displace, terminate, just, you know, essentially trying to get rid of us. And so there's a lot of shame that's still carried to this day. So it's really about building relationships for sure.
I just want to add too that we as home visitors, we see, we hear them, we hear our families, we see our families, and we also walk alongside them as home visitors, and we see their strengths, and we name that to them, like, boy, you're just a really good mom. You're doing such a good job at this. And not just their challenges that they're having, saying we have a hard day at work. And we're able to see that and compliment them and help them and make them feel better. But they just see us as somebody that's walking alongside them to help them out.
Yeah, that's awesome. And let me just say this, you know, Shoshani, that, you know, we've lost generations because of boarding school and assimilation of, you know, our indigenous parenting knowledge. And talk a little bit about the importance about restoring that, because I know that's your jam, and I know people really in the community really look for that and want that.
That I feel really, I feel good about where we're at here, and we're broadcasting from Minneapolis and the community that we have here. We have an amazing community here. But for generations, colonization and family separation, it just disrupted the transfer of some of our parenting knowledge and teachings, and our birth knowledge. So that's some of the things that we're doing now is reclaiming some of the things that we have lost. And we are helping our families to reclaim that with sharing with lessons, sharing what we know as individuals. Joe might know something more about something that I know. So we bring things to the table that are not in the family spirit curriculum. And we can connect people with, connect families with members within the community that might have more knowledge and ceremony and teachings. But restoring those teachings is about reclaiming what has always existed in our communities. Indigenous parenting has long centered attachment for our families, the extended families, through observation, through storytelling, wintertime storytelling, and respect and care and love for our children. Reconnecting to those teachings and strengthens families, and also strengthens our community wellness together.
Yeah, you got a great voice, a great soothing voice too, and you know, we've lost a lot of our culture and language, and you're talking a little bit about that. But you know, what role does all this storytelling and language really bring back healing to our community, and also making a really good parent and parent skills?
I kind of think for us, and Joe, maybe you can help me out too, but I think for us, um, living a more traditional lifestyle myself, our kids, they develop identity from the very beginning. They develop it in utero. They hear the stories. Once they're born, they hear the stories again. They hear the stories in the language, and the language has so much more meaning than the English language. They hear the stories, they hear the songs, they hear the cultural teachings, which also invites our relatives that are here with us that cannot be seen, our clans that are not here, our grandmas and grandpas that can't be seen that are here with us, or our Adazukan, or our history relatives. They know who they are and they know where they belong. And that sense of belonging supports emotional well-being and resilience. And culture isn't something children learn later. It can start in utero. It can start from birth.
Well, I want to just say a big peeny gigi. We're about to end, and about Shashani, about the American Indian Birth Center work. I just want to say a big thank you for all your work in that, and also I'd like to ask, how can listeners learn more about the program? And I don't know, Joe, do you want to jump in on that?
Yeah, sure. So if they want to learn more about the Family Spirit program, they can contact us over at DIW. There's Family Spirit has their own website, so they can jump on the website. But yeah, I would highly suggest they reach out to me or to Shashana if they want more information, if they're interested in maybe signing up for the program. Those would be a couple good ways.
Wow. Big peeny gigi. Thank you so much, you guys. This has really been awesome, and really awesome to hear about your work. And Shashani, I see you in community all the time, so now I know what you do.
Yeah. Thank you for everything you do, Robert.
Big peeny gigi. Thanks. And Joe, I'm going to try your last name. Joe Tahdooahnippah.
Close. Tahdooahnippah.
Tahdooahnippah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to do that last thing. Hey, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. We'll see you in the community. We'll be right back. This is Native Roots Radio. Ho!
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Programming is supported in part by Health Partners. If you're age 65 plus and qualify for medical assistance, you may also qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. This all-in-one plan bundles Medicare, medical assistance, prescription drug coverage, and dental coverage into one simple $0 premium plan that also includes $0 medical copays. In addition to saving money, you can get lots of extra benefits and perks, like a dedicated care coordinator, up to $400 each year in rewards for preventative screenings, transportation, a fitness club membership, and more. This can help you live safely and healthy and independently. If you're a senior on a budget, transportation assistance can be huge. Plus, who couldn't use an extra $400 these days? Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
Time is running out to experience Unchi Said So at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. This powerful exhibition by Daniel Seawalker shares Native stories rooted in collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold portraits and vibrant color, the work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture and reminds us that sovereignty begins at home. Closing June 6th, don't miss your chance to experience this powerful exhibition. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovative Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Warmer weather, sunny skies, summer is here. At the Walker, this means mini golf is open on the rooftop. Artist-led activations return to the hillside, and the cinema has a series of curated films. It's the perfect time to visit. Gallery admissions are free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org/summer.
AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
This is Chase Iron Eyes announcing a new show on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, powered by Native Roots Radio. The show is called Native American Patriot Talk Radio. What will we do on the show? We are going to explore and dive into the source of American constitutional sovereignty, the intersection of Native American and legal issues. Find us the first and third Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. on AM 950.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for cloudy skies tonight with a low around 44, Thursday partly sunny with a high near 66, and Friday partly cloudy with a high around 65. And make sure you support Hennepin Arts as they're presenting the Tony Award-winning new musical, The Great Gatsby, running June 2nd through 7th at the Orpheum Theater. It's based on the classic American novel by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Find tickets at hennepinarts.org. That's hennepinarts.org.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and this is Native Roots Radio. Hey, we have our friend Derek on, and Derek, I was watching you in the background before during the commercial, and I was wondering if you were out chopping wood or what was going on there. But hey, thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, miigwech for having me, Pinigigi, Robert. Yeah, there was some. I was gonna do my spot outside, but it's a little bit loud out there. So yeah, I came in.
I think Jamie's on, but I don't see his camera, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, there you are, Jamie. Get your camera on so we all can have a little. How do you say a powwow here? Oh wow!
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah, well, it won't let me bring my camera up, but we can chat for sure.
Yes, we can definitely, and that's kind of sad. I like to see your face. Hey, Derek, let's talk about what we want to talk about here. I got the poster ready. Big happenings happening with Jamie Edwards, and if Jamie, let everybody know too how they can listen to you. You are on the radio here too. Not sadly on AM 950, but you are definitely in KFAI land. Let people know your background there in the radio. Oh, wow.
Right. Yes. JSE the Navigator. I go by Beats, Rhymes, and Democracy on KFAI Mondays from 6 to 7 p.m. Check us out for sure.
Tune in.
Yeah, and there's a lot of beats going on, and you're talking about democracy stuff, and it's a great mixture, right, Jamie?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We've been doing the show for about 7 years now over at KFAI. Robert, I know we've crossed paths on numerous occasions, and we're here tonight to hype up the Turtle Island Voices Rising event coming up next Friday, May 29th at the Hook and Ladder. That should be a stone cold groove. You got to come out. Featuring a lot of dope artists here from the Twin Cities native. It's indigenous hip hop, R&B spoken word showcase at the Hook and Ladder Theater from 6 to 10 p.m. next Friday, May 29th.
Oh, here's the graphic.
Yeah. Hey, Derek, Jamie, it's kind of hard to hear you too. Get closer to the microphone.
How's that? Is that a little better?
It's
Maybe I can
yeah.
switch it up here. Hold on.
That's cool.
Gentlemen, is this a little better?
Oh yes.
Oh, it sounds like you're right next to us now. So let's talk about this a little bit. It's featuring Jada Brown, Thomas X, and many, many more. And Derek, talk about this. Sounds like it's a jam here. And what time does it start and what time does it end?
Yeah, we got 6 o'clock to 10 p.m. Hook and Ladder. That's 3010 Minnehaha Avenue, Southside Minneapolis. Right up the block from High Lake. You guys can catch Jada Brown, Thomas X, as you mentioned. We'll have Native Son. We got Day Days coming down from Mille Lacs. Isabella Lopez is going to do some spoken word for us. We got DJ Maracuya. There's me, myself, and Tech Lou are going to join the show, so you don't want to miss that.
You know, Jamie, if there's some cardboard out there, I'm going to show up and do some breakdancing old school on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that we definitely want to hit all aspects of hip hop. We're hoping to have some graffiti arts in the mix, and hopefully some b-boys and b-girls show up to represent that dance part. That's kind of where I got my beginning.
Oh, we just lost Jamie. I think he's under a bridge there on his phone. But you know how important, Derek. I feel like we got to talk a little bit about culturally how important it is for us to gather and celebrate in this way, and especially how dark things have been in the past here in the Twin Cities area, especially.
Oh, good question, and right up the alley, Robert. I think it's important to hear all voices. Of course, we have our leaders out here running our organizations and leading in a good way in all aspects of our life as natives. We also have strong ties to the streets and the beats of the streets, that bloodline, that heartbeat. And when you talk about this and our young people that want to be a part of hip hop, one thing about hip hop is it's the biggest music culture worldwide. This isn't just the United States. This is all over the world. This is a huge influence on our youth. And me being somewhat of a leader in the community, I want to nurture that, and I want to be a part of that, and I want to strengthen that. I want to support that. What you get from a native MC or a rapper, as a lot of people would say, is you're going to hear some different things than in mainstream hip hop. You're not going to hear the typical rhymes. What you're going to hear is our voices and our thoughts and what comes from our spirit and what's real to us as natives, whether that be in the urban representation or, up to the rural and on the reservations. You're going to hear our stories, and that's what's most important. That's what a lot of people don't understand, and I want to express great gratitude towards is having our native MCs out here voicing themselves and being heard in the best of ways.
Jamie, I hear birds in the background, so you're back. Can you define what hip hop is for somebody old like me? And I think we just lost Jamie. Maybe you can, Derek, define it for me, or is it undefinable? Or is there different eras of hip hop? And so, what is hip hop?
Hip hop's the culture. It's all about that breakdancing. Graffiti was definitely tied in there. And one thing about hip hop is when I talk about hip hop, who made hip hop cool? It wasn't our moms and dads. It wasn't our grandpas and aunties. They kind of were like, "What are those guys doing? You're playing that music again," and they didn't understand it. It wasn't our leaders in the communities that made it cool. It was us. It was us that made that cool. We stuck together and said, "Wow, that was something. Do it again. I want to hear more." And as that built, the young ones were watching us. And as the young ones are watching, they're saying, "Wow, that is cool. They're right. That is cool. I want to do that." And so that's built since, the 70s, back when we were much younger, Robert. And so that culture has definitely branched out. Another big thing about hip hop, I say it's almost like jazz. And there's so many different aspects. There's a full spectrum of jazz. It just branches out. You can't listen to jazz and pinpoint what it is because it's branched out into so many different subgenres. In that way, jazz will never die. And I'll say the same thing about hip hop. There's so many subgenres, and it's just not going anywhere. Us as the Native community, we know we have strong ties. It's almost tied into us at this point. We're kind of one with hip hop. It speaks the language of the streets. It speaks the language of people that were held down in many different ways. And as you know that's our people. And so I think that music, if we can embrace it, it's a beautiful thing.
So you talk about different venues like jazz. I really like that analogy. A lot of hip hop that I really like is political and telling our stories and telling stories about repression, but also politically how we're resilient and we're still here. And I hear that in a good way with our hip hop.
Yep, we're out here, and you'll hear a lot of that political rhetoric, for lack of a better word. You'll hear a lot of our pain. You'll hear a lot of our struggles. You'll hear a lot about our families. You'll hear a lot about our kids. And also, you'll hear a lot about how we're overcoming those obstacles. And that's what I think is most important. And that's the point right there. I think that hip hop becomes a tool to assist us to getting to that point where we're overcoming those obstacles.
Yeah, a rallying point. Hey, we got like a minute left in the segment. Why don't we talk about people are just getting in their cars and turning on their turning on their transistor radio in their house. Let's talk about this again.
Okay. Turtle Island, Voices Rising, Hip Hop R&B, Spoken Word Showcase. When is this going to be? This is May 29th, Friday, 6 to 10 p.m. Hook and Ladder, Southside Minneapolis, 3010 Minnehaha Avenue. We're featuring some big hitters, Jada Brown, Thomas X. Come out and see us. Yours truly will be co-hosting with JSE The Navigator. I'll also be doing the opening set. So you want to be there early. You want to get there right at 6 o'clock. Come check out Mishomis and Teklu, one of my good close brothers. We're going to rock the mic, and we're going to do it right for you. Do it in a good way.
That's awesome. Hey, we're going to be right back, and we're going to talk some more with Derek, and maybe Jamie. We'll keep our fingers crossed in a good way. This is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Heart health is more than just the physical well-being. It represents like a foundation of vitality, resilience, and the ability to live fully.
Your heart carries stories of resilience, love, and survival. Caring for your heart means honoring yourself and the generations before and after you. It means protecting your ability to gather, laugh, and be present. Learn more about your heart health at hennepincounty.gov/heart-beats, because your story matters and your heart beats for generations. Aho, this is Robert Pilot. For Native relatives, healing is more than just sobriety. It's reclaiming Indigenous masculinity as a sacred, balanced force. Join Hunter Thundercloud for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. We explore how personal recovery uplifts our communities. It's time men step back into roles as mentors and spiritual leaders. Recovery is collective, and it starts with us. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of every month at 6 p.m. for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. Let's tend the fire together.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Warmer weather, sunny skies, summer is here. At the Walker, this means mini golf is open on the rooftop. Artist-led activations return to the hillside, and the cinema has a series of curated films. It's the perfect time to visit. Gallery admissions are free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org/summer.
Hi, it's Dr. Evan Adams, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio. Hey, Victor, you better be listening.
In this portion of the show, we'd like to bring awareness to our wolf and bear populations throughout Turtle Island. Say no to the hunts.
Hey, welcome back to Native Roots Radio, and we are talking about this really great event with Derek, and I think we lost Jamie forever, and he must be in a tunnel or something. We've lost him totally. But Derek, you're a veteran of radio here, so we can finish up this last 10 minutes together.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we're back, I'll introduce myself a little bit. Jawanung Benesi Indigo Mushkazi Bing Nindun Jabai Dash Gekabikang and Nungom Mayangan Nindo Dame. Oh, I heard that howl. I have to give a nice little howl out to my wolf clan brethren. So yeah, it's a beautiful day out there. And a good day to be on the radio. Yeah, you are correct. Yep.
39 years old again.
Yeah. It's been this coming winter, Anishinaabe, we count them in winters. So this coming winter, I will have lived 52 of them. Oh, that's a lot of winters, Robert.
Another 3 years, and you'll be able to get the senior discount at Goodwill.
I'm looking forward to that.
Well, you got like 13 years to catch up to me, and I gotta keep in shape, or you young whippersnappers will catch up.
Well, we don't feel as young as we once did, but we're gonna try to keep up with you, Robert.
So, hey, let's talk about again the event, and maybe talk about. So, well, let me ask you this before we get back into the event. And again, happy birthday! That's awesome. And whenever a Native American is past 50, it's a miracle. And I just want to say a good one on you, and you know, and what you do to be healthy. So it's a huge thing.
Oh, miigwech firstly for that. Good shout out. And yeah, I do tell people, you know, as the years keep coming, you know, as Native men, I speak for the men because I'm a man. I relate there much more. You know, our numbers are dwindling, Robert, and that's just that's just the science of it. So it is really good to walk down the block today. And it's beautiful and it's sunny. And I'm walking up the powwow grounds on Franklin Avenue. We just came from the American Indian Center. And lo and behold, here's Robert Pilot. And, you know, it's nice to see you out there. It's nice to be seen out there.
Yeah, and you and your wife wanted to make sure that I mentioned your birthday again, and that's a good wife to know how important that is for our fragile egos that we want to be, shouted out.
Yeah. 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 She definitely makes sure that I'm well taken care of. She takes really good care of me. She makes me push harder to stick around and eat a little better and move a little more and do the things that will not ensure longevity, but when we talk about those numbers, we want to make sure our numbers are the best we can be, because I heard your commercial before we came back from the break, and it spoke of Native men in the community, and me being a Native man in the community, it's just such a beautiful thing. And I look around and I'm always looking for my brothers. I'm always looking for you. We want you. We love you. We need you out there.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Those are always good words, as you always bring to the show. Let's talk about the event again, because we can't talk enough about it. And I want to just bring it up again. And I'm going to pop up the screen so I can read along. Oh, wow.
Yeah, we got Turtle Island Voices Rising. Hip hop R&B spoken word showcase. You'll hear some poetry, some really powerful poetry from Isabella Lopez. We got Day Days coming down from Mille Lacs. Of course, downtown Jada Brown, sensational singer, songwriter, rapper, amazing performer. Thomas X is coming down from Red Lake. You got myself and Teklu. I go under the name Mishomis, and what that means in Anishinaabe is I'm literally called that. My grandchildren call me that. That's Grandpa, and that's the alias I go under when my rap name, or whatever you want to call it, AKA. So yeah, Mishomis and Teklu will open up the show. We're going to do it the best way we can, and one thing you can bet on when you get Natives in music, in any art, but music and hip hop, because we're on that subject, you're going to get a lot of heart. And when you talk about that Nide, my heart, you're going to get a lot of heart in that music, and you'll be able to hear that. You'll be able to feel that. It's much like a tea or a really good soup that grandma made. And we use a word. Now, when we got water, we all know that as nibe in Anishinaabe. But something happens to that water when we pour our love and our time into it. And then it turns into wabu. And that's the melding of spirit into that water. And now it becomes soup, or now it becomes a good tea. And why I bring that up is because that's what you're going to get with Native hip hop. We're not just doing it. I'm hoping we're not just doing it to be a star, because that's really not the goal for me, Robert. I've done that because I love to do it. I want to pour my love and my time and my energy into it. So when you hear it, when it's all mixed up, you can hear some spirit infused wabu.
Oh, wow. Hey, so is your specialty singing, rapping, or is it working the electric board and the soundboard and the what do you do?
Good question. I'm a producer, long time producer. I've been producing music for almost 30 years. And yeah, that's my specialty. But because of our community, a lot of us don't want to get into music because we need jobs. We got to go pay the bills. And I think music gets a bad rap, especially hip hop. And I wanna stand up and say, this is not only a fun thing to do, but this is healing. This is a way to heal. This is art. This is an art form. So of course, me having a deep love for music, I had to do it myself. So yeah, I'll sing a little bit. I'll rap a little bit. I make all my own music. I make all my own beats. I engineer. I produce, mix, and master everything. So my number one thing that I like to do though is collaborate, and that's working with others, and that's what I want to do. So anyone out there listening, let's work.
Right on. Hey, Turtle Island Voices Rising, hip hop and R&B spoken word showcase, May 29th, 6 to 10 p.m. at the Hook and Ladder in Minneapolis. A big peeny giggy, Eric, for coming on, and it's been a long time, and I'm glad you're on and again, and I'm glad you're doing well, and I'm glad you're still rocking in the community.
Oh, Benny Giggy, Robert.
Good one. Hey, this has been Native Roots Radio. If you're listening to the show, you are part of the resistance from Chief Plenty Coops, the ground on which we stand on, the sacred ground. It's the blood of our ancestors. We need to resist, divest, join a group, run for office, and vote. We're still here. We are the seventh generation. See you tomorrow.
The city of Minneapolis is now on